7, 365. The fantasy season never dies. Welcome to Every Day is Draft Day. Presented by Champions Round.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to the latest edition of Every Day is Draft Day. I am your host, Dan Turner. Joining me today, we have the entire gang. Everyone's here. Steph Smalls, Jeff Haseley, and Jason Cole.
I brought my pancakes. I'm ready with my hot take.
There's like a splash of juice in this, so it's like a mimosa. So I stayed on the vibe a little bit, but
perfect. That's all
Lead us, Dan.
This is the first edition of Hot Takes and Pancakes, the new show that Steph and I developed 5 minutes ago.
It wasn't 5 minutes ago. It was last.
It was
Friday.
a joke, Steph.
And it's normally going to be.
You don't always have to correct me when it's a joke.
I have to because I don't want them to think we just.
Anyway. So what we're doing today is we're going to go around the room. Everyone's going to do a hot take, and then we're going to discuss it. We're going to do 3 to 5, depending on how long this lasts or how long until everyone makes fun of me, breaks my will to live. So starting off, we're going to start with Jason. You're up first. What is your first hot take, sir?
All right. This has nothing to do with fantasy, but
Excellent.
I'm going to go off the rails off the start.
Starting off the rails.
Okay, so I'm also going to do that.
Dan, you know this one. I already talked about it with you.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes does not have a top 4 arm in the NFL.
Whoa.
That's a hot take. Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, Matthew Stafford. Who was my fourth? I went through this. I'll get back to it.
I don't even think that's that hot takey. I just think that people have decided that he is.
Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers has a better arm than Patrick.
Does he have a better? Yeah.
Okay, so let's go around here. So I disagree. I think he's top. I think that he has a better arm than Stafford does.
I don't know if Mahomes is really known for his strong arm. He's more known for.
I think it's more like his
Brett Favre-isms on the field.
Yeah, no, that I agree with. Definitely, he's not known to just like launch missiles, but I think he can do it better.
Yeah,
which is why we need the skills competition back in the Pro Bowl.
Like, do you mean like arm talent? Because I think that arm talent-wise, then we have a different discussion.
You can arm talent. I still don't think he's top 4. I think all 4 of those guys are better than him.
That's fair. A lot of Mahomes.
All right, this doesn't feel hot takey enough for me, so I'm gonna go around. No. I'm getting a better one in. Screw you guys.
Last year it would have been, but the echo chamber has like decided that they lost.
Okay.
I'm coming in and taking over the show. How about this?
Right.
David Njoku, top 8 tight end this year.
No way.
Not a chance.
I don't think so. That's a lot.
And you also have Schultz as tight end 1, so
I don't have Schultz. You're just making shit up.
Let's just start the tight end conversation right now.
All right.
Njoku, there is no one outside of Amari Cooper on that team that is reliable. I think Njoku comes in, has a great connection with Deshaun Watson, who I don't think is going to get suspended, and I think he's going to be
that's a hot take.
Yeah, that's a hotter take is whether or not Watson gets suspended or not. Because
maybe I just walked into one. The writing's on the wall. I don't think Deshaun's getting suspended this year.
Yeah, I think Baker is going to could potentially play more games than him. I wouldn't be surprised.
After Trevor Bauer was suspended for 2 years in Major League Baseball and the NFL doesn't do anything to Watson, I think that would be a big story.
And now we're going another way. Go back to the tight ends before this gets deep.
Njoku, huh?
Njoku, top 8 tight end in 2022.
Is he 8?
What's the best? He the highest he's ever finished is 8th, and that was his second year in the league where he had 56 catches for 639 yards and 4 touchdowns. I'm looking at his number right there. I'm not that good. And then I bet
Njoku has at least 7 touchdowns this season.
Oh, I don't know. Someone has to do it from Cleveland.
You love the Browns.
Really do,
you love the Browns.
That's a hugely hot take.
If Deshaun's playing 17 games and all they have is Amari Cooper and a bunch of slapdicks, who do we think is going to be catching touchdowns?
Who are your other wide receivers? Why can't I think of them?
Donovan Peoples.
That's because they don't exist.
Anthony Schwartz is your guy that you want in Cleveland. David Bell.
Okay, I would.
Right? No, I like.
If you will bring it down to top 10, I can maybe consider getting behind you. But top 8, now you're just being ridiculous.
There's a lot of good
Top
tight ends.
6. How about that? Double
Top
down.
6. He's going
the wrong way.
There is no chance of that happening.
Who's your tight end 8, Daniel?
Mine? I have the whole list somewhere. I'm not doing it again.
All right, so let's move on. Let's move on from me. Who's up next with their hot take?
Steph.
Eagle Dan. I'm thinking about which one I want to do.
Okay, Jeff, go.
All right. Everyone's talking about how Marquise Brown going to Arizona with Kyler Murray, his old college guy, he's got his college coach, is going to be this hot commodity. And I just don't see it. I wasn't a huge fan of Marquise Brown with the Ravens. I think he had some decent games, but he's not, in my opinion, a possession type of receiver. He's more of a deep threat or one cut and go. I don't see him having the numbers that everyone expects him to have, especially after what Steve Smith said too. We can say this about how he struggles getting off the press, and that he is going to struggle in this coming up offense, even though it was similar to what he had in college. It's different. It's different against the NFL defenders and corners. So yeah, I kind of see him struggling. I am against Marquise Brown this year.
Well, what's struggling to you? Like, where do you have him?
I'll say that he'll finish outside of the top 30.
Wow.
But I think that the Cardinals themselves might struggle a little bit more this year. Is part of it too.
That. Yeah.
Not hot.
That's what I think it is, because I do think that like we saw, we've seen receivers go to other teams, and then suddenly it's like, oh, he just needed another environment, and then you're bring him to an environment where he does have chemistry. So that part I'm like can kind of get behind, even though I'm like low key one of the biggest haters of him. But I think
chemistry was against college opponents, right?
So.
Not in the NFL and the pro level, and we've seen him struggle
it's not
at
like
times.
Dancing or
Plus, when DeAndre Hopkins returns, Marquise Brown's going to be second fiddle, if not third. It's don't forget Zach Ertz. He's also going to be a big part of that offense, and he's someone who knows the offense, right?
And I think they'll try to get Trey McBride at least involved.
Was that take so spicy that your video went out?
Yes.
Did it?
You did.
Yeah.
You were gone.
Oh shoot! Look at that.
It melted.
You're like, crap. I don't want anyone to see me.
Let's try this again. All right, keep talking amongst yourself. I'll come back.
Talking amongst yourselves. Okay.
I don't hate. I kind of like the fade on Arizona here, and I think that's one place to do it is against Marquise Brown. From a gambling perspective, I love their under 8.5. I love the fact that Hard Knocks is going out there for the midseason, because we're just going to see an absolute meltdown. It's going to be the best. And also, coincidentally, I think there's a little spicy bet on Cliff Kingsbury, first coach fired, in here somewhere.
I would get out of my head. I was just about to say, I think this is the year that breaks Arizona. Like, this is going to be what breaks the camel. Like, what is it? The stick that broke the camel, whatever the hell that phrase is.
Yeah,
it's going to be this year, because they've been floating in like this creepy purgatory of like, we came out of like a rebuild. It didn't really work, but then we're good enough to win a bunch of games, but not get anywhere. And it's not like the Cowboys who like every year somehow find their way into the playoffs. It's very different, where they're just not good enough, but still good. So everyone keeps their job. So I think that this will be the year that Arizona is going to have to figure something out. And I would take that bet 100% that he's the first one fired.
So I kind of like that one too. And if we want to get even spicier here, how about Cliff Kingsbury gets fired and they replace him with another guy from USC, and they get Lincoln Riley, his old coach, Kyler's old coach.
Okay, now you're getting crazy.
That's interesting. Hey, did you notice that I moved up in the pecking order of the cameras?
Yeah, you did.
No.
Now Dan's last.
It's all about right anyway.
What's going on? Isn't he like being a brat again?
Who?
Again?
Kyler Murray?
Yeah,
he's holding out of OTAs.
Yeah, he's not showing up, so that's fine. Oh, to answer your question from before, Goddard is my tight end 8. Steph.
I think that's fair.
Okay.
That's actually, I think that is probably where he is on my ranking, so I have no complaints about that. I will allow that.
I've got him 12th.
All right, Dan, why don't you just give us your hot take so that we can yell at you about it?
Yeah, there we go. All right, so I was going to do like a Jalen Hurts, but that's just too homery. So
No, you got it. No. Give us the one that you gave us on Slack. Come on.
I'm saving that one for later. So for my first one, where is it here? Okay, So I'm going to go with Kenny Pickett wins the Steelers job outright in the top 15 QB.
Oh,
top 15?
Okay.
Who did I go to Alabama with? Are you sick?
I mean, he might win the job outright, but top 15. I mean, I know the Steelers are
I'd rather bet on Desmond Ridder.
Good organization, but I mean, shoot, rookie quarterbacks that do that don't come along too often, and not out of this class. I don't see it.
It's 15 points a game over 17 games, which is doable. With he's not like the greatest rusher, but he has some rushing upside, and his weapons are second to none for any rookie QB. So I definitely think
you think he's going to start every single game?
I do. Yeah, I do think it's Mitch Trubisky. It's not like.
It's true.
It's not like he has to beat anyone, that's actually good.
I see Trubisky beating him out, but they're going to want to see what they have in him. I just don't see him with a top 15 finish. He's going to have like maybe 16 touchdowns and like 12 or 14 interceptions or something.
Granted, there is a lot of creepy situations as far as QB goes across the league. So top 20, I think I could probably start getting down with, because I think that there's going to be a lot of teams that do these weird like QB tangos. They start someone half the season, then someone else comes. Like I see a lot of that probably potentially going on. Top 15 is a little rich for me.
Well, that's why it's a hot take.
That's true.
Are you just trying to create hot takes so that
I really believe if he wins the job, I believe he can be a top 15 guy. I really do.
I've got Pickett ranked 30th.
30th?
30th.
But you're anticipating that he's not going to start every game this season.
I see them both kind of, getting maybe even equal starts. Trubisky and Pickett. Maybe Pickett picks up around, week 10 or something, or who knows, week 8. But it also depends on how well Pittsburgh plays. And, if they can win.
Their line is still
They don't have the easiest division, that's for sure.
They don't. No, they don't.
Yeah.
I think my question here is – oh, sorry. Go, Dan.
Go ahead. No, so I just think his mobility will help with Pittsburgh's line. I mean, it's not the best, but he can move around much better than Roethlisberger could. So I think that definitely helps. That in the rushing, definitely helps him get into that top 15 number in this scenario.
So my question for Pickett is, obviously the Steelers know a lot about him, obviously because they were in the same building. You would think that they would draft a guy like that was the most theoretically pro-ready guy, because they want him to play right away. And you don't draft a guy at 20 and the next quarterback doesn't go until 73. Without thinking, okay, this is our guy, and it's going to be really early on in this season that he takes over. So, to Dan's point, I think there is a chance that he ends up winning out in training camp. However, I will say this: if he does not win out in training camp, red flags all over the frickin' place. For me, at least.
I don't disagree.
I don't know. I think they're going to take it easy with him and let him work his way in.
He's 24 years old or whatever.
Yeah, what are you waiting
Still
for?
old as shit. He's older than Herbert.
Everyone said he was the most pro-ready guy coming out.
Yeah, but I have bigger hands than him.
Okay.
So do I. But anyway.
I can see Desmond Ridder ending up surprising people, because Marcus Mariota, how many games has he played the past couple of years even? Like, I don't.
One, and he was awesome. Don't forget about it.
He's awesome. You want to know why? Because he's the guy that comes in and just like saves the day and like is great, and then he can't play a full season. He's not playing a full season of quarterback on that team.
So what's your hot take, Steph? It's your turn.
No, I'm not. Okay, my hot take is that. Okay, ready?
No, your turn.
Uh-oh.
In honor of my show tonight, it'll be a Minnesota Vikings take.
Okay.
And my hot take is that Kirk Cousins is going to finish QB7 or higher. I think Zimmer's gone. Hey, before you talk, I'll read you off this. Oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead. You go first.
I was going to say, if you go anywhere with Cousins, either up or down, I would go up, not down, because I think he's one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the league.
Hell yeah. I would give you a high five if I was with you. I agree. His fantasy finishes. Ready?
I don't know about 7. That's tough.
QB11, QB11, QB18, QB13, QB6, QB5, QB8, QB22. He's not a bad quarterback.
He has Justin Jefferson.
And they're not just going to be dumping off the ball the way that they did last year. And they're going to – I at least believe in Kirk, I think, a little bit more to get the ball downfield. And all it's really going to take is giving him that trust and letting him, you only have to get the ball to JJ like 3 more times. And this team is going to look totally different, in my opinion. It's so funny. All these, even on my previews, all the teams are still the lowest on the Vikings. Even Green Bay, the guy, Andy Herman, that came on for Green Bay was like Chicago, talking about Chicago. And I was like, crap, the Vikings really, Zimmer did them in because no one cares. No one is scared of the Minnesota Vikings, I'll tell you that much.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. It is a hot take, but I've always liked Kirk Cousins. So I think that if he's going to go anywhere, it's going to go up rather than down.
Yeah.
So here's my problem with top 7. That means he would have to beat out someone in the Allen, Herbert, Brady, Mahomes, Stafford, Rodgers, Prescott, Burrow, Hurts group. I just don't see him doing
What did Prescott finish this year? I don't think he finished higher than Kirk Cousins.
Finished 7th.
Did he? The year before he was definitely because he got hurt. That's right. But I don't know that that's out of the realm of possibilities. Dak does best when Amari Cooper is on the field. Guess what? Amari Cooper is not on the field. And then he also does, the next time he does his best is when Zeke is very involved, and they've been like lessening that load for him. So does Dak not have as good of a year this year? That again wouldn't totally shock me.
Plus, the Vikings, if they're anything like the Rams of last year, because that's where Kevin O'Connell's from, they're going to go 3 wide an awful lot. So that's going to be pass, and they also have Dalvin Cook so that they can run to set up the pass. I could see that offense taking off.
Yeah, I can too. And Kirk Cousins, there was a day when Kirk Cousins was way more mobile than people remember. When he was on Washington, he was more mobile than people remember. Not that I think he's gonna turn into a mobile quarterback.
Yeah, he won't.
It wasn't. I mean, I don't think he's gonna run a lot. I'm just saying that he has more athleticism than people. It's more the athleticism because everyone's like considers him this dork that can't do anything. When a lot of that comes from Zimmer and the situation he was in.
Only on primetime games. 10 a.m. start. He's great.
Yeah. And they have a very weak schedule. One of the easiest schedules in this entire league. So I like Kirk Cousins. I mean, JJ's my wide receiver 1, and I won't budge from it. I think that this is the year he gets going as well, because the fact that he's been able to do as well with what they had is pretty impressive.
I don't hate it. I like the Vikings over this season. So give me all the Kirk Cousins stock. I think it's
yay! Woohoo! Go Kirk!
Yeah, and someone's going to have to step up as far as that third receiver too. Is that going to be KJ Osborne?
No,
there's someone that no one's talking about.
Yeah,
but Smith-Marset.
Mm-hmm.
You think?
I've been on him since the draft last year. I think
he's a great Smith back.
I don't know. I mean, he has to do a lot in order.
I think Smith-Marset fills in really nicely to the Van Jefferson role that they had in LA. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him used like that this season.
And Dalvin Cook could get a little bit more receiving work as well. We saw him post that cryptic post of him lined up at receiver. It'd be interesting to see if he plays a little bit bigger of a role in the receiving game. It's because I don't know what Zimmer was thinking half the time. He's like, I can't think of something. Give it to the fullback. Like,
he wasn't thinking half the time.
You have like so many weapons. Anyone else could make this team win, and you just somehow manage to just blow it.
All right, it's a good take, though. It's a good take.
Thank you. You're being too nice.
It's not that bad of a take.
It's not that bad.
It's not. What do you guys think about Elijah Moore?
I mean, I loved him last year. I think the Garrett Wilson thing is really kind of throwing a wrench in it for me.
I don't love him anymore.
I think Moore is going to finish ahead of Wilson, and I think and I think he's going to be a top 25 receiver this year.
I mean, he's definitely talented enough to. It's just a matter of what is Wilson going to do. So what is Zach Wilson going to do, and how much does Garrett Wilson take away from what Elijah Moore can do in the offense?
They're going to have a lot of options, that's for sure. Plus Breece Hall.
I kind of think that the Jets are still going to be a little bit of a mess. Like, there's something about it. I think that they have all these pieces. I struggle to have them putting them all together in division. I don't know. I'm not as high on them as everyone else is. I know Dan is high on them, but that's because he it lives there on the beach.
I live there. I live at MetLife.
The New Jersey Jets?
New Jersey Jets. Yep.
Oh, it's also the New Jersey Giants. So I should shut up, honestly.
Yeah. I just don't see Zach Wilson, if Garrett Wilson is the number one guy there, I just don't see Zach Wilson as improved as I think he might be, being able to support 2 top 25 guys. I just don't see it.
All right, so let's talk about the second-year quarterbacks, right? Zach Wilson, you've got Mac Jones, you've got Davis Mills. Who else? Sorry, Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, Justin Fields. Out of all of those guys, which one do you think is going to make the biggest leap?
Trey Lance.
Davis Mills.
We didn't even mention Davis Mills. Davis Mills could.
Davis Mills.
But you're saying the biggest leap. Like, I think the difference from last year to next year, that's going to be the biggest leap. Do I think he's going to finish better than those guys? No. But I think that he has the potential to make the biggest leap as far as performance-wise. And he showed...
Lawrence?
No. Oh, no. Davis Mills. Well, Mills. Lawrence, I think, is going to do well next year. That was on... we did a show last week. He was one of my buys.
Trey Lance is going from playing 2 games and stinking to potentially being the starter for the 49ers. Yeah, I do.
You think he's starting?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do. I think that they have to.
I think Shanahan has an attitude problem, and he doesn't like anyone.
I think the fact that they traded 3 firsts for him, or I guess 2 firsts and their own, I think they have to. Him? I think they have to. I don't think that they have a choice. They have to see what he's going to do, and
that feels like a disaster.
But Shanahan has made every single quarterback, even the idiots, look good. He's going to make Trey Lance look at least functional.
So it's fine.
I tell you what, if Trey Lance does start, he is looking at 500, 600 yards rushing.
Yeah. I think he takes away from some of the other players, though, because of that. Because I think they'll rely a lot on his feet.
Yeah.
Right. But in terms of the biggest leap, I mean, I think it's very clearly Lance, and I'm also kind of reading.
Well, yeah, bench to playing is a pretty far.
hey, I answered the question.
Player of the year.
That's a real stretch there, Jay. Real stretch.
You asked the question, I answered it.
Leave it to Jason to do a West Coast player, also.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hold on. One more thing here on Trey Lance. There's been more money bet on Trey Lance to win MVP at Caesars in Vegas than there has on Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen combined.
MVP.
Because guess what? Neither of that. I'll give a hot take. I don't think Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen is going to be MVP next year. You want a hot take? I'll give it to you. I think the hype for the Bills is getting out of control lately.
Josh Allen is 100% winning.
I think they are setting themselves. They're setting their fans up for absolute heartbreak. The way that people are just handing the Super Bowl to them. Disaster. Feels like a disaster.
Well, they do have to go out and earn it, and they have to win in the playoffs, which, that was an amazing game against the Chiefs, but they need to repeat what they did, and they need to take it to the end of the race, because shoot, man, if Buffalo wins the Super Bowl, that city's going to go berserk.
I think they're better. It's a better chance this year because,
it was a better chance last year too.
Kansas City's going to take a step back.
You could say that.
And
I agree.
In the AFC.
What other hot takes do you have?
I got another one.
Go ahead.
Is it West Coast?
No, it's not. Thank you, though. Tom Brady will not finish as a top 15 fantasy quarterback this year. He will not finish the season healthy. And
he's
the
done.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to finish the season with a losing record.
Whoa!
Went from mild to nuclear.
Kyle Trask, baby.
I don't really have to do much. I like Kyle Trask.
I think the Buccaneers' issues along the offensive line are really scary for a guy that old. I think it finally comes crumbling down. I think he will get injured and will be out for the season.
And I think at this point it doesn't really matter because he's got the bag already secured.
Hey, let's go a little further. What's the injury?
I'm not going to put any Ricky Bobby curse on him.
Jesus. My God. We're at the stage. Someone needs to go sage Tom Brady right now.
It's not going to be the guy is like the most well-conditioned person that has ever played quarterback, right? It's not hamstring. It's probably not like ankle. Shoot, shoulder maybe after a hard tackle.
No. What happened the last time he missed a year?
Knee.
ACL.
Yeah.
Don't do that. That's not nice.
I didn't say it. I just asked what happened last time.
Speaking of the Bucs, and if Brady does play every game, I really like Russell Gage this year.
I love Russell.
I agree.
I love him.
Everyone's forgetting. Well, maybe not everyone,
But I think everyone in the fantasy community knows that Russell Gage is there, and they don't want to talk about it yet because they're getting him in all the drafts. And then you get to about July and August, and everyone's going to be like, Russell Gage, Russell Gage.
Yeah,
meanwhile, they're all already on their teams.
Yeah,
that's right.
I will say, Dan and I, when I actually first started Champions Round, that was like one of the guys we used to talk about all the time, and he had such a good end to his season. And that was one of the guys that we stood by the entire time. Like his time was coming. He is one of our guys. Russell Gage, we should send him Champions Round stickers because he is a Champions Round guy. Like we were all in on that.
Let's send him his own jersey.
Perfect.
We should. Yeah.
Perfect. And we can autograph it.
Signed by all of us, exactly. Yeah.
The Russell Gage fan club or the Russell Gage Stan club.
Where do you think he finishes this year, Gage?
Where do I think he finishes? In the middle of the road, like between top 20 and top 30. I think.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I think that's probably 100 targets. That's probably like 60 catches, maybe 6 touchdowns. That's kind of a right around there, like 6,606.
And he should get a lot of work in the beginning before ACL injury comes back. I don't like saying his name.
Chris Godwin? You don't like saying his name?
Because I'm upset. I have so much of him. I'm just upset that.
I am looking at the footballguys.com projections on Gage, and they have him for 71, 794, and 4 touchdowns.
That feels like the floor to me.
Yeah, it does kind of feel like I said 6,606. This
That's
is
has no spice to it. Like there's not even salt or pepper. Right. I think that goes over that.
So there you go. 70 catches for someone that you're like, who?
That's not bad though, but I think that's a nice person to have on your he's someone right now, honestly, before everyone starts talking, because he will be the flavor of the week probably within the next couple of weeks. I would go out and get him if you can. Him and Alexander Madison.
I love Madison.
I have literally
cooking his shoulder problems.
Got him everywhere. And even if Dalvin stays and Madison goes somewhere else, I don't know. Oh God, where is it? Basically, he's finished within like the top 10, top 12 every single week. Dalvin's not there. Like he can take on a full workload. He is an RB1 and he can be. Just someone has to give him that load.
Give him the opportunity.
All right, so I got a topic. I don't know if you saw my Twitter feed this week at all, but I mentioned that Russell Wilson has only had one running back in he began in 2011, 2012, I think, in his career that has had over 40 catches.
Mm-hmm.
One, do you guys know who that running back is? And two, one time, just once. And we don't know if is that Russell Wilson led or is that Pete Carroll led. So we're going to find out in Denver if any running backs can catch balls. It seems like Javonte Williams might be.
Oh, everyone's going to be so upset when Melvin Gordon's still really involved.
Yeah, exactly.
It cracks me up. You want to talk about chemistry? They're literally BFFs. Like, it's not going to go the way that everyone wants. And I love that journey for everyone. And I think the time will come for Williams, but it's not happening.
I love the Javonte fade this season. I love it. That's a great hot take.
I'm fading the shit out of him. I might even tweet it after this and then go on my show.
Fading the shit out of Javonte Williams.
Wait, who was the running back who had 40 catches?
Fred Jackson.
What?
Fred
Jackson with this. Yeah, who remembers that Fred Jackson even played for Seattle?
No one.
Right, nobody does.
No one remembers
Fred Jackson. I think he had 40 or 41 catches. That's the most ever by a running back in a Russell Wilson offense.
It's because you can't see him.
Anyway. I have a hot take. I have a really hot take, and then Dan can go. And I don't know that. I actually don't know Jeff's stance.
We're running out of takes for next week's show.
I know.
No, there's going to be plenty more.
No, not at all.
Not even close.
Okay, right, Greg Dulcich will beat out everyone's beloved Albert O. I almost tweeted this last night, but I didn't have the wherewithal to go into it with everyone. Like, Albert O is going to get beaten out by Greg Dulcich by week 8. I was going to say week 7, but I think by week 8. Everyone loves him out of literally nowhere. You guys didn't like him. You just liked him because they needed a tight end.
Well, you could say the same about Dulcich too.
No, but I love Dulcich, so it's
Is he a dad guy? He's a dad guy, isn't he? He's the dad guy. He's the Adam Morrison of the NFL, right?
He's the dad, yes.
right?
Is that a hair joke?
Yeah, that's a hair joke. Yes, it is.
He's a beautiful specimen.
We can pronounce
nice.
Dulcich, sort of.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
And all I think of with Albert O is, hey, what is it? Fat Albert. Like, that's what I think of every time. I can't take it seriously. Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
That's all I think of.
We should probably move on from that conversation.
Anyway, okay. So here's my hot take. Christian Watson outscores Allen Lazard this year.
Oh, I don't see it.
I don't think that's a hot take at all.
Okay, I have a hotter take than that.
I don't really see that, guys. I think the Packers are going to split their catches among a lot of. There's no more 175 target guy. I don't even know if anyone's going to have 100 targets in that.
I do think it's going to be like a very receiver by committee type ordeal over there.
Watson ends up as a top 30 wide receiver too.
But
wait, what?
Aaron Rodgers is a brat. That's fine.
I thought there was a hotter take than that.
I'm getting there. No, it's coming. I think Amari Rodgers he could end up being wide receiver one.
Thank you.
I don't really give a shit.
Thank you. No, I'm with you. I was hoping you were going to say that.
Who?
We don't know what they can do.
Amari Rodgers.
No one's ever had the
Never heard of
opportunity.
him.
What? The Clemson guy on?
Oh
my God, you're so faking. You're a faker.
He's kidding. He's kidding, people. It's
Yeah,
okay.
he straight up doesn't like rookie wide receivers. Christian Watson is still very rough around the edges. I don't think that means he can't be the guy that suddenly pops out the way that every other receiver that Rodgers has adored ends up doing. But I think that he's going to end up picking one of the guys that's already there. It's just how he goes. And you know how he zones in on one guy. But I do think that these receivers, I don't know that you're going to get the production. And I think everyone thinks you're suddenly going to get Javonte Adams production out of one of these guys. No, I just think they're going to spread the ball around more. They've done that. They actually have a 7-0 winning record without Javonte Adams, and they've scored 31.5 points. Rodgers can figure it out without Adams. It's literally not a big deal at all that they got. It's actually, I think Green Bay benefited from getting rid of him.
I think that if this is going any way, I think it's Lazard who's going to have the big season as opposed to Watson.
He could.
The problem with Rodgers is I don't think he's going to get the targets necessary to do well.
Remember when Jordy Nelson came onto the scene and just blew up and turned into this huge receiver?
Turned into Jordy Nelson, yes.
I could kind of see that with Lazard.
I know.
He already has the rapport with him, right? He's establishing that. He caught his 300-something touchdown pass, whatever that was.
Milestone, yeah.
What was it? His 500th pass? I don't even know.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. He's got a good rapport with Rodgers. I think he's gonna have his game elevated this year. But I'm still not thinking that if there is going to be one guy who does it, I think it's Lazard. If not, then you're going to have a committee approach like you talked about.
I think we'll find out. It's just that you would have no idea because for so long he's just been so laser focused on just throwing the ball at Javonte that, Lazard would have a good week here and there, and it was like a nice guy to have on your bench because you could plug and play him. But I don't know I just don't know if he can handle that type of work. So I think Aaron Jones probably has a much better year. I moved him up in my rankings. I think that we see him way more involved than people think. I don't know. I just can't. I love Lazard. He's very wide receiver. He might as well have wide receiver 2 on it, tattooed on his forehead.
What do you guys think of
I'm sweating right
Sky Moore picking number 24 as his jersey number?
I saw that at the rookie premiere. It was very odd, but I
don't get it.
Kobe, go for it.
Yeah, that's what he said, right? Because he wants to emulate or at least honor Kobe, correct?
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that's why he did it, but awesome if he did.
That's what it is, then good job.
I still think that JuJu is the receiver to have in Kansas City.
100%. It's JuJu.
I love
it. But I think JuJu's ceiling is a little capped off too. I feel like he's just I think he's a shorter yardage guy, and then you have a weaker. I don't want to say weaker because Big Ben did just not very good at the end there.
Steph, do you think that JuJu? Do you think that JuJu has a better chance at 8 touchdowns or 80 catches?
8 touchdowns probably.
Which isn't bad.
I think Juju's going to have over 100 catches this year.
Whoa!
Agreed.
Splash!
I'll be happy. I love JuJu. I think that the JuJu hate is unwarranted. I think the boomers don't like TikTok, and all of a sudden we hate JuJu because he likes to dance. Let the guy dance.
Didn't we have this whole thing last year with Mahomes trying to go too far down the field to Tyreek, and once they said play within the offense, throw it a little bit shorter, it worked out a little bit better. True. Then you have JuJu, who literally every game with the Steelers would catch 9 passes for 17 yards. It's exactly what he does. Yeah. I think that he's going to put up a ton of receptions this year. So full PPR leagues, I think Juju's an absolute monster this year.
Here's a take. Take. JuJu finishes higher than Tyreek Hill. Here's why. Tyreek Hill is known for his touchdown scoring, right? That's what made him a wide receiver 1. It wasn't the catches necessarily, it wasn't the yards, although he did get them because he got those long touchdowns. Is he going to get those long touchdowns from
Not with Tua's noodle arm, he's not.
No, right? So in order for Hill to have the season that we think that he maybe could have, he's going to have to do it, I think, with more after the catch stuff, because I don't think he's getting all those air yards that he had before with Kansas City.
Mm-hmm. Also,
Miami's another weird one. You got too many. They're almost.
Miami should be its own. It should be its own show. It should be its own show of weird takes. Because Miami can go a million different directions.
How about this? Waddle finishes higher than Tyreek Hill. Boom. You want to hot take? Waddle finishes higher than Tyreek Hill. Boom.
That's possible.
Yeah,
that's entirely possible. But JuJu over Hill, that would be.
Yeah, I like that.
And how many running backs do they need, for the love of God?
17.
Like, chill out. We get it, bro. You're from San. We get it. We got it.
San Francisco 2.0.
Yeah, we get it.
The worst.
What else do we got? What else? Pick a team.
Let's get the hot take that everyone wants from me. So here it comes.
Okay, and that is because
Here we go. I'm just going to shut up for the rest of the show because. All right, Cole Kmet will finish as tight end number 6.
Boo!
Dude, no, that's not going to happen. I can tell you that.
Well, let Dan give us.
Yeah, let's hear your side here, Dan. We'll give you the
Let's hear my Dan.
Go ahead. The floor is yours.
So, Justin Fields is going to improve. How much is going to improve? It's up to debate. Whatever. It's going to be a second year. The offense is going to be better. They don't have fossilized offensive schemes anymore, hopefully. Excuse me. After Darnell Mooney, there's really no one in the offense worth a damn. Now that Allen Robinson is
they're going to run the ball a shitload is what's going to end up happening.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Because of the new staff that's there. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
I'll mute myself.
You don't have to do that. He already had 93 targets last year. I think he gets more. I think he improves on his receptions, his yards, and he's not going to score 0 touchdowns again. So there you go. That's my case.
So he's going to go from tight end 20.
Yes.
Okay.
In this scenario, how many passing yards does Fields have? Because are we talking about a 4,000-yard passer for Fields?
I think go ahead.
Go ahead. In order for Kmet to have that type of a finish, it's top 6. I mean, he's got to have like 70 catches, 800 something yards, and like 4 or 5 touchdowns, right? Maybe even 6.
I don't have a single share of Kmet, and I could not care less. I do not like him.
Has a Bears quarterback even ever had 4,000 yards passing?
No, I think they're the only team now.
I mean, well, granted, that's not really a good measure of anything.
But see, the thing is, he doesn't need 4,000 yards. He's number 2. He's the number 2 target there after Mooney.
How dare you say bad things about Equanimous St. Brown? How dare you?
I just think that in order for Kmet to do something relevant like that, Fields is going to have to absolutely surprise us. Could he do it? Maybe he could. It's possible.
I think that take is I can't get around it. There's no way he's going to finish the top 6.
It's lukewarm. It's lukewarm, and I'll give it to you because of the target.
He's part of the Kmet cult. It's a cult. Like that's one of the.
I am not part of the Kmet cult.
That is one of the cults. Kmet season.
I'm not.
The target share is going to be
my
huge.
Cole Kmet I've ever said.
No, you guys are sick. Like we can't help him. He's got it already.
Cole Kmet top 6. Get the fuck out of here.
They're a defensive team. They have a defensive coach.
and he catches the ball defensive too. He's all scared.
Okay. I think
you realize top 6 is 7 points a game, right? It's 7 points a game.
Watch David Montgomery finish within that top 10 for sure.
Man, fuck David Montgomery.
And there you go. Bye, Kmet. See you later, buddy.
I'd rather Khalil Herbert take the field than David Montgomery. Honestly,
great. They can both take away targets.
So it's acting like he needs to score like 14 points a game. He doesn't. Tight end sucks.
It's the Bears, bro.
I'm okay.
How many tight ends are on the Bears roster right now? Is it still like 60?
None that matter.
Jimmy Graham is.
They've got like 29. Ryan Griffin.
Ryan Griffin is nobody. He's a nobody.
Well, he's a veteran.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah, I forget who else they have.
James O'Shaughnessy, like, come on.
He's on the Bears.
Jaguars last year.
No thanks.
Still,
I bet you Evan Ingram finishes higher than Noah. I mean,
I think a better hot take would be that Kmet leads the team in receptions.
What are we betting? Hold on, Jeff. What are we betting? I'll take that bet right now.
What, that he leads the league leads the team in receptions?
Evan,
I don't actually want to make that bet. So.
Okay.
Right. Mooney will probably beat him in receptions.
I kind of do too. I'm wrong. Evan Ingram.
Right. What are we betting?
You think Ingram's going to outperform Kmet? I don't think that.
There's no chance of that happening at all.
I don't think that's going to happen because you've got Arnold too.
Can we get odds, or we have to go straight up?
Like 5 to 1.
We're going straight up. No odds. What are we betting?
What's your favorite beer?
A case of milk.
Case of milk. I do like milk.
I'm betting that our first episode next year, you have to wear. Our first 5 episodes, you have to wear a Giants shirt.
I'll make it 10 episodes, and you got a deal. I wear the Giants shirt the entire season. How's that? That's how sure I am.
Well, how about a temporary forehead tattoo of the Giants?
A temporary forehead tattoo of the Giants?
Yeah, you got some real estate there.
During the show? Okay.
During the first show?
It's going to turn into like a betting show, like where we bet each other things. Like, I think this is getting...
If Jason's involved...
But if I win,
Steph, I'm really a terrible influence here.
Oh God!
If I win, Steph has to do an Eagles tattoo if Kmet does better.
Wait, this wasn't my bet. I don't even know the bet. You were talking about Jacksonville and Evan Ingram.
Evan Ingram has a better season than Cole Kmet does. That's the bet.
No, I think Kmet will have a better season than Ingram.
Yeah, you're on my side against these two. It's us 2 versus them.
That's fine. Jason and I are always on the island alone. We'll bet the 98 accord.
This is your bet. I'll come up with my own bet. We still have more episodes to go.
We're in. I'll pop on with Steph with a Eagles tattoo on my forehead for one episode, and you have to do the same when you're wrong.
Okay.
Fine.
And close us out. I have my 17th show of the day.
All right.
That's a busy
person.
Right, so I need StreamYard.
That's the first episode of Pancakes.
The under loves injuries, so just gotta watch that.
Obviously, this has been a really fun show. Thanks both Jason and Jeff for joining Steph and I. We had a lot of fun with you guys. Be sure to check out all the fantastic content going on at Champions Round, our Discord channel, all our new game Daily Dozens, and Steph's continuing series Small Talks Balls, which is going through every single team in the league, which is a great show. So check all that out. Mm-hmm. Steph, anything else to add before we head out?
No. You guys
What's next? Vikings?
Vikings is in 1 hour with voice of the Vikings, Mr. Paul Allen. I'm very excited.
Spoilers.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Do the outro, Dan. Go.
Spoilers. Hit the button.